we are neither blind nor burning advocates for raw milk. I think we've come to this topic with a fairly balanced perspective. We don't just think, oh, because it's unprocessed, because it's raw, it must be better. And in fact, I've had quite a bit of cynicism towards raw milk historically. A few things recently have tipped me over towards thinking that raw milk is not only okay, but it might be better for our health and safe for our family. We do believe that good health has a foundation in good nutrition, and we're very willing to believe that there are subtleties in nutrition that the modern view of nutrition and food has largely ignored. So I'm not going to go into fine points, nor do I understand the fine points of the superiority of raw milk today. I'm going to talk about some things that have tipped my thinking over towards thinking raw milk is good. I was reading in a book called Keeping a Family Cow. And Keeping a Family Cow, you might say, is the manual for keeping a family cow. It's by Joan Groman. It's a very good read, and I would recommend it. And something in that book really kind of just hit my thinking in a new way and made me think about this in a new way. And basically, what changed my mind, or has started to change my mind, is that it's possible that there's actually practices you can put into place if you're milking one or two or just a few cows that are impossible to put into place on scale for large-scale production. So here's the question. Has the scale of our production and the necessities of the production and transportation system we have they made it impossible to do the practices that would make it safe to drink raw milk? This is really a key question to me, because when our vet came out to the house and talked to us about raw milk, he warned us strongly against drinking raw milk. He warned us about how dangerous it was, how people die from it. And that's fairly sobering. But my understanding of why raw milk might be okay is that you actually can do things that no large producer can do. Specifically, you can hand milk and you can control your process at a higher level than on a production level. I like to think about the care that you put into milking your cow. You go out every single day and you take care with every single step, washing the udder, milking out a little bit, stripping the teat, and milking out a little bit of milk initially to get rid of that higher bacteria count. Cleaning your buckets, cleaning your equipment, milking into the bucket. Immediately taking the milk into the house and straining and chilling it. Another thing that just was new information to me from these books that has really helped me to see, this is actually from the Independent Farmstead, and the fact that here's another question: is it possible to clean milking equipment completely and thoroughly? Well, these two books say it's not, and actually milk that has been milked by a milking machine is inherently more likely to spoil in a shorter amount of time, because it's impossible to perfectly clean the inside of plastic tubing used in a milker. Whereas cleaning a bucket perfectly is just not that big a challenge. You have to do it with care. So this is one thing that tipped my thinking, is that the milk from a milking machine actually potentially has a higher bacterial count, and you're starting off a step behind where you would be if you were hand milking. So if you look at milk in the grocery store, the milk in the grocery store has a date that's usually several weeks out. And that's, if you kept milk from a home milk cow untreated, unpasteurized for several weeks, it would be completely bad. It would be worthless. And to me, that's just, it says something right there that the system is calling for milk that can be stored in a refrigerator for weeks. We don't need to store milk for weeks. Honestly, we're going to use milk quickly. We're going to be drinking a lot of milk, and we're going to be making cheese. We're going to be making butter, and we're going to be processing and using our milk very quickly. The last thing that really just fascinated me was something from Keeping a Family Cow. And it was about how before pasteurization, milk was put on ice. And where did ice come from? We're talking about in the late 1800s. Ice came from one place. It came from lakes. So the northern lakes would freeze, ice would be cut, it would be stacked in sawdust often, and transported on trains, and it would be used all over the country to keep food cool. Now the book says in the winter of 1886, it was an exceptionally warm winter. And I don't know if this is accurate, but this fascinated me. The book said the winter of 1886 was actually a turning point in milk production and processing. That winter, the lakes in the north didn't freeze. So there wasn't the same volume of ice available, and something had to change about the system. And that's when large-scale pasteurization was implemented, and we never really looked back and questioned, is this what we should be doing? Is this the system that we should be depending on? So the fact that we are able to take a very high level of care when we're able to start milking our cow, and that we're going to use our milk very, very quickly, and also the fact that we're hand milking, and if we do so with great care, we can potentially have milk that's at a much lower risk than if you took raw milk from a commercial dairy. Those things have kind of tipped my thinking towards the benefits of raw milk. I am a novice on this topic, so it's kind of funny I'm making a video on it. It's apparently a touchy topic. I'd love to hear what y'all think about this in the comments of this video. I had a video I shot yesterday. I didn't edit it. I went to sleep last night. And so this is our video for today. Appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video.